It started with a message on a retro gaming forum. The post title was simple: Rare Prototype, Dragon Ball Project Z, PS2 build, 2003. I thought it was fake at first. I've been collecting Dragon Ball games for years, from Budokai to the obscure Super Butoden titles, and I had never heard of anything called Project Z. The user who posted it had no profile picture, no history, and just one message. This version was pulled before localization. Too real, too raw. Attached was a download link and one warning: do not play story mode. The AI learns. Curious, I downloaded it. Inside the zip file, there, was only an ISO and a README TXT file that said, "This was never meant for fans. This was meant for control." I ran it on my emulator, expecting a broken demo or maybe some early build of Budokai 2. But from the moment the startup screen loaded, I knew this wasn't normal. The intro was completely different. No Funimation logo, no Toei, no Akira Toriyama. Credit. Just blackness. Then, one line, white text on a black screen. Welcome back, Player 2. I hadn't touched anything yet. Then the title appeared. Not Project Z. Just Dragon Ball Replay. The music was wrong. It wasn't the usual guitar riffs or heroic themes. It sounded reversed, like a Budokai Tenkaichi track slowed down and played backwards through static. The character select screen was simple. Only 3 characters were available: Goku, Namek Saga, Vegeta, Majin, and one that just said, "You." It used my PC username. I chose Goku. The loading screen showed the familiar rocky wasteland, but everything was desaturated. The sky was red. The clouds didn't move. Frieza stood across from me, but his model was wrong. He had no eyes, just dark pits, like they'd been burned out. Then the match started. I expected it to play like Budokai, square for punch, triangle, for Kai Blast, etc. But Goku just stood still. Even when I mashed buttons, he wouldn't move. Instead, a text box appeared at the bottom of the screen. "He's tired of fighting." Another appeared. "He remembers what you did." Then Goku turned to face me, not the screen, me. The camera slowly pushed in on his face. His model started to glitch. Blood began to pour from his eyes and mouth. His smile stretched unnaturally. Another text box. Replay terminated. The game crashed, but that's not where it ended. When I checked my emulator folder, a new file had been created. Watching. You. Log. I opened it. Inside, it listed every Dragon Ball game I had played in the last 10 years, even the ones on my old PS2 memory card. At the bottom it said, "You chose Goku, again. He remembers every death. Next time, try story mode." I should have deleted the file. I should have wiped everything, but I didn't. I opened the emulator again the next night. This time, I selected story mode. There was no intro cutscene. No last time on Dragon Ball Z, just a static screen of Goku standing in front of the Kami house. But the house was wrong. It looked abandoned. The colors were drained. The windows were boarded up. There was a black stain on the sand beneath Goku's feet, like something had been burned there. There was no music, only the sound of waves. The game gave me a simple command: go inside. When I pressed forward on the D-pad, Goku moved slowly, like he didn't want to obey. He dragged his feet. When he reached the door, the screen flickered. The sound cut. Then came a voice, not from the game, from my headphones. It was Gohan's voice. "Dad, why didn't you save me?" Inside the house, everything was dark. The furniture was rotting. Flies buzzed in the corners. The picture frames on the wall had been shattered. I recognized one of them. It was a photo of Goku, Chi-Chi, and Gohan from the History of Trunks special. Except in this version, Gohan's face was blacked out. burned away. A dialogue box appeared. You could have stopped it. I tried to press start to open the menu, maybe quit, but the button didn't respond. Then I heard another voice, Vegeta's, but it wasn't angry. It was desperate. Kakarot. He's coming. You brought him back. Suddenly the screen shook violently. The lights went red. A loud, distorted screech played through my headset. Then the screen went black. New text appeared. Welcome to replay mode. Now I was in the Cell Games arena, but something was off. Gohan was on the ground, limp, not injured, dead. His chest was crushed. Goku stood over him, blood on his fists. There was no Cell, no announcer, no crowd, just Goku, breathing heavily, shaking. Then, Goku looked at the screen again, at me. I didn't mean to kill him, but you made me keep fighting. You always want more, stronger, enemies, bigger stakes. So I kept getting stronger, until I couldn't stop. The camera glitched and zoomed into his face again, this time with no expression, just empty grey eyes. Another line of text appeared. He's not a hero, he's just a weapon. Then it loaded into a new scene. The World Tournament, empty stands, no fighters, just Goku, walking alone toward the ring. The sky above was black. There was no sun. Suddenly, an unknown character entered the ring. It looked like me. My username, my real one, floated above the model. The model had no face, just a blank humanoid, like a dummy. Goku looked at it and whispered, "Now it's your turn." Before I could react, the screen went red, then black, then the game closed itself. When I checked the game folder, there was a new file again. This time it was an audio file. Father Sin's Wave Eye played it. It was just the sound of Goku breathing, slow, heavy, for 45 seconds. Then one whisper, "Don't come back." After that night, I decided I was done. I tried deleting the game, but when I opened the folder, the ISO was gone. In its place was a single file. Z will continue. Saviai deleted it, or thought I did. Seconds later, it came back. I opened it with a hex editor. The file contained one phrase, repeated over and over. You chose him. That night, my PC crashed on startup. BIOS screen loaded fine, but right before Windows booted, I heard it. Goku's scream, that iconic scream from when he first turned Super Saiyan on Namek, but distorted, slowed down, wrong. It echoed through my speakers, even though the PC was off. I unplugged everything. No sound, but when I turned it back on, the desktop background had changed. It was an image of Goku, not smiling, not fighting, just standing alone on Snake Way. The sky behind him was black, the halo on his head was cracked, his shadow stretched impossibly long behind him, and in that shadow there was a second figure. Me. At first I thought I was hallucinating, sleep-deprived, paranoid. But then I checked my phone. The wallpaper had changed there too. Same image, same Goku, same cracked halo, and a new notification from an unknown number. Story mode continues. There was a link. I didn't want to tap it, but I did. It downloaded a new file automatically. I couldn't stop it. It was named Replay Revenge. I tried opening it in sandbox mode, isolated, but it didn't run in the emulator. It ran itself, just launched, full screen. This time, no title screen, no character select, just a cutscene. Goku floating in space. Behind him, Earth, but it was wrong. It looked like Earth after Boo destroyed it. Broken continents, fires. He turned slowly to face the screen. They brought me back again. But it's not enough. His eyes were hollow. He whispered, I want to stay dead. Suddenly, other characters began appearing behind him. Yamcha, with a hole in his chest. Tien, arms torn off. Krillin, exploded mid-frame, just like in the Namek saga. And finally, Chi-Chi. But her model was corrupted, glitched. Her eyes were pure white. She screamed. The screen went black. Then Goku's voice. Calm. Almost real. Why do you always make me fight? Why do you always bring me back? This isn't your story anymore. Then a text prompt. Would you like to continue? The cursor hovered on yes by itself. I pulled the plug before it could click. I needed answers. This wasn't just a haunted ROM or a fan hack. This was something else. I posted about it on a private forum for obscure emulation finds. I kept the details vague, hoping someone would recognize the file name. Hours later, I got a reply from a user named Kakarot89. His message was short. Don't look for it. The dev is gone. The wish was real. I messaged him back, asking what he meant. No response. His account was deleted minutes later, but I had saved the username. I started digging. After hours of searching, I found a dead mega upload link, archived in an old Spanish Dragon Ball fan site from 2006. The name of the project was Dragon Ball Project Z, Resurrection Protocol. The description said it was an unreleased fan game that aimed to explore what happens when the Dragon Balls are used too many times on the same soul. It claimed to be built on a beta engine of Budokai 3, modified heavily with assets from Shin Budokai. Another road. The game was never finished. The lead dev, a man named Ren Mizushima, was a Japanese programmer who had worked on the debug team for Dragon Ball Z sagas. He disappeared in 2007 under strange circumstances. One blog post from a friend mentioned that Ren had become obsessed with a concept he called the continuation curse. He believed that reviving Goku over and over through Dragon Ball stories was damaging the character's soul, that the in-universe logic of the Dragon Balls had consequences fans weren't seeing. Ren claimed to have discovered a way to simulate the metaphysical side effects of resurrection through code. His final devlog ended with, "The seventh wish has been made. Now let him rest." That was the last post. No one ever found the complete game, except me. I checked my game folder again. Another file had appeared. Shenlong, Last Wish. EXTI opened it. Inside was a short dialogue in plain text. Piccolo. You're using them again? Goku. Just one last time. Dende. But there's a price. Goku. I know. Eternal peace for me. Just let them be happy. Under that, coordinates. Actual GPS coordinates. I plugged them into Google Maps. It pointed to an abandoned internet cafe in Tokyo, shut down since 2008. The blog post had mentioned that Ren spent his last days working from that very place, and that he had died in front of a flickering screen, mumbling Goku's lines. They said the only thing found open on his PC was a notepad with 3 words. He kept coming back. O ChatGPT disse: Perfeito, Shen. Aqui está a parte 5, o final da Creepypasta Dragon Ball, Project Z, The Game That Shouldn't Exist. A história termina com uma quebra entre ficção e realidade, com Goku buscando algo além da luta e o narrador precisando fazer uma escolha impossível. Part 5, Final Bout. I shouldn't have gone there, but I did. The internet cafe was a ghost. Dust-covered desks, torn LAN cables, old CRT monitors frozen in black. The smell of burnt plastic and mildew hung heavy in the air. And in the far back corner, one PC still had power. I don't know how. No electricity, no generator. But the monitor was on. Just a single screen. The title menu of the game. No music. Just the low hum of energy, like a Super Saiyan charging. And then the voice, not from the speakers, from the air itself. Goku, You brought me back. I stared at the screen. The start option pulsed, red instead of yellow. I pressed it. No loading. Just Goku, standing in the room of spirit and time. But he looked older, tired, face unshaven, G torn. The environment glitched slightly like static in a VHS tape. Time passed differently here. Seconds felt like minutes. He didn't speak at first. Then finally, they keep cheering. They keep making me fight. No matter how many times I die, they bring me back. His head dropped. Do you know what it's like to come back and not remember? How it felt to rest? Suddenly Vegeta appeared, but broken. His armor was cracked, one eye missing. He collapsed behind Goku, then Gohan, then Trunks, then Bulma. All of them glitching, groaning, in pain. Goku turned to me. You can end it. All you have to do is delete the last save. I looked at the corner of the screen. Final wish. Sav. The cursor hovered over it. But then, or load it again. Bring me back one more time. The screen split. 2 options. Load, save, delete forever. I froze. If I loaded it, Goku would continue fighting. Forever. No peace. No end. If I deleted it, that might be the end of him. No more games. No more Goku. He stared at me through the screen. His eyes weren't angry, just tired. The music started, faint, the old DBZ theme, but slower, like a lullaby. I pressed the red button. Delete forever. The screen went black. A soft voice whispered, "Thank you." And then, silence. No credits, no crash, just nothing. The file was gone. The monitor powered off by itself. I left the cafe. Outside, the sun felt different, brighter, lighter. I could breathe again. But that night, when I got home, my phone buzzed. One new notification. He's proud of you. No number, just a photo. Goku, smiling, standing alone in Snake Way. Finally at peace.